to today's video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create resources. Resources form the fundamental building blocks of any cost estimate in Lula. So it is really important that you understand how to set up a well-defined, accurate resource list to ensure that you can develop accurate tenders going forward. Okay, so as you can see, I am in my project Workbench. I'm in a project with an unpriced bill of quantities, so all of these net rates are 0. And in Lula Build, all items are priced from so-called first principles. So what that means is you won't just be typing in some estimated net rate there for the item in total, but every item has a worksheet sitting behind it where you can do a full breakdown of all of the resources required to actually build this item on site. So let's say we want to backfill the foundation on site. So to do that on site, we'll probably need some labor to help us. We might need some building sand to actually fill up the area, and we might need some plant like a whacker to actually help us compact the surface. All right, so in order to do this, we will have to define resources in Lula Build. So we can switch over to our resources module in the navigation bar, and as you can see, I've got a blank resource table. I don't have any resources defined for this project yet. Right, so there's a few ways to define resources. You can either import resources from Excel, similar to how you import a bill of quantities. But for today's example, I'm just going to show you how to manually add resources to this list by making use of this plus add button, which will create and add a resource for us. Okay, so that adds the resource and it opens up the resource editor where you can specify the properties of this resource. So resources have a bunch of properties, but the most basic properties we can see here in front of us is the resources code, which is like an identifier of the resource. The name of the resource, which is just basically a description. Every resource has a base allowable, which is your estimated purchase price per unit price of the resource. And then the resource has a unit of purchase. Okay, so all resources need to have unique codes and names. So I'm just going to give this resource, let's say we are going to create general labor as a resource. So it's a labor resource, so I'm just going to give it a code of L001, description of general labor. And let's say we pay our laborers 280 Rand per day. Okay, done. And then let's create some material. So I'm going to create the building sand. So this is a material, so I'm going to give it a code of M001. Please note that you can give these resources any codes that you desire. So it's really up to you how you code your resources and what names you give them. And there's no restrictions on the letters or the characters that you can put in these fields. Right, and this is building sand. Let's say building sand costs 85 Rand per cube. Done. Okay, so now we've got some labor, some materials, and let's create a plant item. So let's say we need the whacker to compact the sand when we backfill. So it's a plant item, so I'm going to give it a code of P001 whacker. Let's say we can hire that for 450 Rand per day. Right, so now I have to find 3 basic resources, and as you can imagine, this resource list will get really large with time. So it's quite fundamental that you are able to organize this resource list effectively. And in a follow-up video, I'll show you how you can achieve this. But for now, we've actually got enough to get started and to start pricing items. Thank you, and until next time.